It's very Breath of the Wild, which is a system I don't find particularly fantastic.
Spyro, help! Burning embers suddenly shot out of the
Heating vents! The books are in danger! You must have blown too hard when you lit the hearth, Spyro. Oh, I'm losing voices left, right, and center.
Spyro, please do something. You've got to put these fires out. Shh! Oh, Spyro, those obnoxious Rhynocs are making it impossible to read. And they are ruining the decor, putting up those nasty banners.
First area in the game has the most obnoxious enemies, the only ones with like a specific sound effect tied to them that just make it impossible to commentate over. And NPCs are just always going to be talking to me even when I don't want them to. Yes, I get it. Oh yes, and those sheep. Burning sheep gives butterflies because it's like Sonic rules where you smash a robot and then an animal pops out. But this time it was just a sheep that had swallowed a butterfly, and then your dragonfly eats the butterfly, and that's your heart meter. Spyro's very weird. But use your new ice breath to burn the books. Fun fact, I didn't know about this map icon until I just did this test play. Either the game, I don't think the game ever tells you that there is a map feature by pressing L and R. That must have been in the instruction book, which I probably didn't have when I was a kid. Hey Spyro, there's a little red guy with a horn in this section, in the XYZ section. He asked me not to be disturbed, though I did hear him mumble your name. I also thought, when I was a kid, that used to be the XY section. Like, what the heck kind of a section is that in a library? Of course, freezing things means you have to run into them. Falling into water is going to reset your position to your last entry point, which is usually always the start of the world. So don't fall off your isometric land. Again, you're playing an isometric game with the Game Boy D-pad. I want you to work out how well that is. And unfortunately, you can't full clear every zone the first time you come through it, and I will show you why that is the case in just a moment. For one, you see these marks here? Yeah, I can't interact with them just yet, but I do need to remember that they're there. Every land is going to have a set of, like, paw prints, which is important. It's very important, and it won't become any less important, or I guess it won't become any less important until the final clear up of the game. Okay, you need to die. You need to die so many deaths because you are way too loud. I think I've got the levels set pretty correct for this recording, but it's honestly hard to tell. And if you can't hear me over the really loud, obnoxious Rhynocs, then I mean, that's just kind of par for the course with this game. But I will be doing as much of a clear as see, I missed gems, and I can't be doing that. Because you seriously do need 100% to, like, beat the game. There is no wiggle room on your gem count. Thankfully, there's a little bit of tracking on, like, how many gems you've had. It just gets a little bit difficult to remember, well, did I get all the gems from there? So yes, I'm not hitting that button to get into here because I don't know where the second button is. Usually you don't end up hitting the first button you see, you end up hitting the second button and then trying to backtrack to the first. That's just, otherwise you don't tend to have enough time. And there's going to be a lot of slowdown and switching between breaths here as we try and clear up the Spyro. Oh, Zoe, which is a character from previous games.
Hello, Spyro. I'm now the head librarian here at the library. I only started a week ago.
I got some bad news, Zoe. Ripto's back and got the professor, and he's taking over the Dragon Realms as we speak.
Oh my, that would explain all these noisy Rhynocs.
We need to find Heart so we can put a stop to this. Can you help?
I can't give you the heart of the fairy library. Its power maintains the books, but the professor once made us a maintenance machine for us. We've never used it though, and the Rhynocs made off with it.
We can get that machine back. Could you use it instead and spare the heart? We really need the heart.
Of course, you can find the machine and return it to me. I will give you the heart. It's not in the library, so you'll have to search other lands to find it. I'll give you a list of the parts in case the Rhynocs have dismantled it.
So yeah, every land is going to ask you to go to other lands to find the parts, or to find the list of items that it needs to get the heart that for some reason they won't just give you. And they're often good reasons, sometimes. So yeah, see, grab this, run around over here, make sure that you actually end up on the, oh man, hitboxes in this game with the isometric and the Z clipping, and ooh, it's gonna be fun, guys. Ah, and there's a toy for the Elder's Quest, for the Dragon Shores heart. So Dragon Shores is like the hub world, and then you've got all the little sub-worlds that branch off of it. And Dragon Shores is split into 3 areas. Kinda, sorta. I'll explain as the game goes on. This toy is a Ripto action figure. It's small and ugly, just like the real thing. I actually think that is a great looking, like, plush action figure. It's one of the toys that Dragon Elder for. So yes, another thing is these treasure boxes, which, if I go to my key items, I need the red chest key, the green chest key, the purple chest key, and the yellow chest key. And they all come in, they're of course split in half. So until I get to all the keys, which come from yet another thing that I have yet to show off, which I probably will be showing off in like an hour, as long as I can put it off. As long as I can put it off for how to get those key halves. It's the least fun part of the game, where the actual game is just a serviceable 3D collectathon. I will have to go back for those gems. Yeah, I'll go back to get those gems right now. And there's a book, and there's a thing. So there's going to be a first run through the game to get as many abilities, I guess, as it were. Yeah, like Spyro abilities as possible, so that I can do a second pass of every world and get all of the actual gems and items. And of course, those treasure boxes hold like quest items and also all sorts of other very useful and important things. I don't remember if the books actually hurt you if you jump into them, but at the very least, every world will have like a, well, on your first pass, we're gonna need you to do the initial fetch quest. In this one, it is, you know, make sure all the books are put out. Now I do want to fall down here. I really like the aesthetics of this game. They're very, I don't know, diorama-like. It's just it's a good like 3D collectathon on the Game Boy nonetheless. Like I actually think that this is a very fun game to play usually. There are some exceptions in here. And now we go to the last area, and that's the last of the things. Let's go talk to Bubbles. And so that is as cleared, I think, unless I'm missing, nope, I am not missing any areas of this, because we came in lower, and then we walked up, and then we went around, and then we went around the top. Good. Oh, right, and then we have to go to the Ixie section. Or Xiz section, there we go. Let's pronounce it Xiz. Oh, we already did your thing.
Oh, thank goodness the fires are out. While we were trying to rescue books, I noticed this one book doesn't belong to the library. Why don't you take it in return? It's quite odd, old. I don't remember what she said.
Looks like a book about kangaroos. It's old and smells funny. Hope it comes in handy. Cool. We are not gonna need that or get that quest until much, much, much later. So let's go to the Zixie section. Zix. Haha! Looking for a way into the Dragon Coast, Spyro? This spell book might help you out. I've been reading through it, and boy, there are some great spells in it. Like this one. Bruh, it's just 3 Rhynocs with guns. How hard could it be? And this one. Oh, now it's 2 peas and a head. I've got to get going now, Spyro. You want the book? Then try and get it. And that looks like it's just laying on the ground, but it's actually above on the thing's nose. Yeah, let's do the boss fight, which is, oh yeah, so there's one hit on me, which turns my little dragonfly buddy blue, and then he'll go green, and he will disappear completely. All I gotta do is just like flame this thing 3 times. Just 3 hits and that was it. It's not a boss fight. It's very easy. The tricky part is just figuring out the hitbox detection. We can't read any of the spells in this book, but it glows with magic. This book gives you quick escape ability, Spyro. You can select it from the menu and return to the Dragon Shores from anywhere. Good to know. And if it was not, I guess it is not particularly obvious. Yes, so I need to come back here to get that red book, or I mean the red treasure chest. Because that doesn't actually explain why I needed to go in here and do that, like this little boss off the bat. It's not a good explanation. But that's the fairy library as clear as you can get it in the first pass, which is 80%. And we're missing a fair amount of things. But now, if I go to Quick Escape, this will work no matter where in the world you're pressing it. I guess it did kind of clue this to you, because the fairy down there says, oh, Ripto took that book out of the library, which is how you get back up here, which you couldn't get to any other way. Shh, the fairy shrine is a place for quiet reflection. Sorry, I was talking and explaining things. And now, I guess I should go and talk to Moneybags, now that I have all this cash moolah. Could be important. Yeah. While we're here, just to get this area as clear. Oh yeah, and enemies respawn, but they don't drop any more gems. You just only ever have to kill them the once. He was down here, right? Ah! What say I part with this trinket for a paltry 300 gems? How does that sound? Ah, lovely gems. I knew I could count on you, Spyro. Here's this item as promised. Wow, Spyro, your own action figure. It's really cool. Fully posable toy. It's one of the toys the Dragon Elder is looking for. I think this said this was a 2003 game on the title screen, or 2005. I completely forget. Oh yes, we found the toddler, blah, blah, blah. Now we need to warp back up top. Literally the only way we'll ever be able to get up there is by doing this warp, which has so many different loading screens attached to it. But on into the Dragon Shores Stormy Passage. I think these are supposed to be warp gates, but they also just kind of work as like screen transitions. This is not a suspicious boss arena. Nope. Totally not. Oh, and I guess I should pause and just show you what that Dragon Shores looks like now that you've cleared it out. Because that is everything you can do there initially. What are we at for Dragon Shores percentage? 22%. Dragon Shores is this whole overworld area. I call it the overworld. Every area kind of has an overworld.